Hello, 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 and welcome to Birds of Essex in August 2022, I think, aren't we, Steve?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, I think
To be
so.
fair, I'm
Yeah.
not sure what. To be fair, good evening, Matt. How you doing, mate? All right?
Hello, mate. Yeah, not too bad. How are you? You're right.
Yeah, good. Yeah, I'm not sure what month it is, to be honest with you. I think we're just whatever.
Yeah, to be fair, I mean, we've had a couple of months break, and it feels like yesterday that we last did this, doesn't it? But yeah, but there's been quite a bit happening, hasn't there? Really, bits and pieces.
Yeah, it's been good.
A few things to talk about, and we've got a lot of stuff coming up tonight, haven't we? What have we got coming up?
So, well, basically, I mean, well, as always with our shows, we want you to comment in, and it's not always about Matt and I. We want all the viewers who are watching to contribute. So Matt's very adeptly there. Put the screen up.
Can you see it? Is it on there?
Yeah, I can. That's brilliant.
Yeah. Excellent.
Phew. So yeah, so if you've got any questions, if you can log into YouTube and enter a question into the chat for this evening. And if you're not a subscriber, come on, subscribe. It's so easy to do. You just hit the subscribe button. Even I can do it. So
and alternatively, if you aren't logged into YouTube with your Google account, you can send us an email to ebwstalks@gmail.com, and I'll try my very best to keep an eye on the emails. But if I do miss anything, I apologize in advance. But if you've got any messages, comments, anything that you've seen over the summer, any pictures you want to share with us, please send them through, because like Steve said, this is all about you guys. The only reason we do this is because people watch us. Otherwise, it would just be me talking to Steve, which we could do anytime, couldn't we, really?
Could do. To be fair, yeah. As much as I love you, Matt, I prefer if we have a bit of a...
I think a monthly scheduled chat with you for 2.5 hours every month might be a little bit too much. You reckon? I don't know.
To be fair, no, because, well, for those who are watching tonight, we do a lot of prep for these things, and Matt and I often schedule a meeting for like 7 o'clock, and we don't start talking about the show until about 9, because we just like chat away. So
it's hilarious. It's hilarious. But yeah, we've got some good stuff coming up. So there's going to be some topics for discussion tonight, which we'd like you guys to comment on in the chat or via email. And if you grab a pen and paper, we'll tell you what those topics are, and hopefully one or two of you might have some comments and information you can share with us. We've also got the final of the photo competition coming up. So if I see if I can grab a link, first of all, if we have a look at the actual finalists. So for anyone that's been following this, basically we run a quarterly photographic competition. And the idea is that we choose our favorite photos from all those that were sent in, and then we put them into a public vote, and the public get to vote in the quarterfinals, semi-finals and final. And we're now at the final stage. There's about 25 minutes left. So if you're quick, you can get a vote in. And can you see the pictures on the screen there, Steve? Lovely. So these are the 4 pictures. We've got tree creeper. We've got a little owl trio. We've got a kingfisher. Nice male kingfisher there without his lipstick on.
Yeah, lovely.
And we've got a little owl looking directly down the camera. And how can people vote on these, Steve?
So you can vote on the Essex Birdwatching Society Facebook page. So you'll see the 4 pictures on the Facebook page. Just put in the comments box below your choice of winner, or you can vote on Twitter. So it's at EBWS Tweets.
Oh, sorry.
Twitter.
That's the Facebook page.
Yeah.
And
well done.
The Twitter page is this one.
God, it's almost like it was rehearsed, Matt.
Oh dear. And you get to kind of vote on there as well if you want to. So there's a poll on there. You can just choose your favorite.
Yeah. So if you just had a quick look, then you could see who was in the lead. Then so.
Oops.
And also you can send an email into ebwsphotos@gmail.com.
Yep.
So that's the 3 ways to vote. Excellent. So yeah, it's been lots of good entries this quarter, hasn't there? It's made judging a little bit difficult, but yeah, some good choices in the final.
No, definitely. I think we had over 50 entries again, which is really good. So thank you to everyone that sent entries in. we're going to see all of the entries apart from those 4 finalists in the break. We've got a little video that's going to play through them all. So if you want to sit around and watch that, you might see your photo pop up. Right, so the topics, I hope everyone's got pen and paper. First one is, where's everyone been during the summer? What have we seen? So it doesn't have to be in Essex, it could be further afield. But where have people been in the last couple of months, and has anyone seen anything really good? Next topic is,
well, as you probably realised, we haven't had a lot of rain recently. Well, actually saying that, some people have had loads in the last week or two, some people have had nothing. So if your local patch has got water or hasn't got water, you know, like the reservoirs are very low at the moment. What birds are you seeing? You know, has your local patch been affected by lack of rain or, you know, whatever? So yes, we want to know, you know, how the water levels are near you and how the birds have changed.
Next topic is migration. So obviously it's getting to that time of the year now where summer residents are starting to move off and the winter residents are starting to move in, and the autumn passage that moves through is starting to be seen as well. So has anyone seen any migrants locally? And if so, let us know.
And then what else is the other topic? Yeah, so God, it's ages ago, isn't it? You know, you look back and you think, oh, but Bird Fair, Global Bird Fair was in July, mid-July. Did you go? If you went, what did you think of it? Matt and I both went. You know, we had our opinions, as you'll find out later. So yeah, what do you know? Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? Did you buy stuff? You know, let us know what you thought. Be interesting to hear feedback. And
in the second half, we're going to have the photo competition results, obviously. The voting closes in about 20 minutes now. And we're also going to find out some exciting news from Abberton over the last couple of months. So for anyone that's not aware, it's worth sticking around to find out what's been happening there. Yep. Okay. Have we got any feedback yet? Anyone saying anything?
No, we've had lots of hellos from people this evening. We've got quite a lot of people watching, which is very good for us.
Oh, excellent.
So yeah, Richard Chew, good evening. Andy Goody, Brian Cox, Pete Dwyer, all saying good evening. Richard Chew's just said, good to see us back again. So at least one person good to see us back. Oh, and Ron as well. So
thank you. That's really nice. Yeah. Hi. And Mo, Emma, and John Peacock as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So Richard Chew says, don't mention the Rhineck at Rainham, which he went to see but didn't see it. So, well, more of that later.
Let's not go there. Anyway, right.
Exactly.
So what are we doing first of all? We're talking about field trips, I think, aren't we?
Yeah. So I wasn't available in June's field trip, wasn't it now, Matt?
Yes, it was. Yeah, it was end of June, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, Lake and Heath Fen was the last field trip of the current season, which I know you had a really good time, didn't you? So
yeah, to be fair, I mean, the weather was great. It was really nice getting up and seeing a few people again, obviously, all the regulars and a few new faces, which is really good. I actually travelled up because I live quite close to Lake and Heath, being in Colchester. So rather than going Chelmsford and up, I actually decided to pop up there on my own kind of thing. But I actually went with Tim Hayward. So I don't know if Tim's watching tonight, but Tim came along. So thank you for your company. We had a little stop at Cavenham Heath on the way, a little cheeky stop for a stone curlew, as you do. And then Lake and Heath, yeah, the weather was great. The reserve is brilliant. For anyone that's not been there, it's well worth the trip. I mean, this time of year, you're going to see all sorts of things there, but it's well known for bittern, for hobbies in the summer, cranes, which they do still breed there, I think, don't they?
I think they had 2 pairs breed there this year, which is really good.
Used to be a hotspot for golden oriole, which I don't think it is anymore. Although you had one a year or two ago, didn't you?
I heard one singing last year.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was migrant or not, because it was sort of migration time, but
yeah,
who knows?
Yeah, but it's a great reserve, and you can do a really lovely, you can do a short walk, you can do a much longer walk. There's some good opportunities for photography if that's your thing as well. There's a hide there that's really good for photography. And we saw lots of dragonflies, butterflies, all the usual species of warbler, plenty of hobbies. kingfisher, and then we had some really nice views of bitterns as well. So just share a couple of very quick pictures from the day. There was a nice showy female stone chat that kind of popped up fairly close to us, which was quite pleasant. And then the bitterns, there was a really good flyby bittern. We'd seen one in the morning fairly close, but then we got up to the, is it Joyce Fen viewpoint?
Joyce Fen is the furthest most viewpoint. Yeah.
Yeah. And we literally just got there, and I think I happened to turn around and a bittern was flying in behind us, and it did a really close flyby. And yeah, giving some opportunities to grab a couple of pictures on your camera if you're quick enough. But you've got an interesting story about this one, haven't you?
Yeah. So as if you have a closer inspection on that bird, you can see a ring on its left leg. So back in 2017 in Hertfordshire, I think it was Letchworth, there was a bittern found injured by the side of the road. So it was taken to the local animal rescue place, and it was released at Rye Meads. But at Rye Meads, they've got a ringing group, which I know some of the people watching will know of. So they put the ring on the bittern, and thought nothing more of it. And then 2 years later, that bittern turned up at Lakenheath, where it's been pretty much since 2019. So, it's this goes to show, how amazing birds are and moving.
I think it's also nice for the people that rescued and rehabilitated it. They know it's still alive and doing well,
Yeah.
Because I guess for people that do that, if it never gets reported again, they don't know if all that hard work went to waste and the birds passed away in a ditch somewhere. So that's why it's so important again to report your ringed birds, isn't it?
Yeah, and that particular bird that you photographed there, Matt, I mean, I've seen that the last couple of years, and it's always doing feeding flights. So it's always presumably raising young every year, which is really, really good.
Yeah. So not only did they rescue that particular bird, but it's bred more.
It's gone on to boost the bittern population. So that is, really good.
Superb. So yeah, we've got more field trips coming up. We've actually got we'll come to our little publications later on, but anyone that's received this already will have the new field trip guide for the year, which is fantastic and shows all the indoor meetings as well. So Steve, with your prepared field guide trip guide, where's next month's?
So we're off to Dungeness in Kent for the next field trip, which is, and I have to quickly look, Sunday the 11th of September. So only in a couple of weeks' time, 2 weeks this Sunday. If you've never been to Dungeness before, I mean, I love the place. Very, some would say bleak, but very interesting area, very open area of shingle. Great for migrants this time of year. There should be lots of hirundines passing through. But again, I believe they've got quite low water levels there, so hopefully waders, ducks. They certainly had glossy ibis, at least 4 or 5 glossy ibis the last month or so. So yeah, great trip.
Could be black redstarts and little stint, do you reckon, maybe? Chance of?
Yeah, Gargany. Yeah, I think it's there's a good chance of seeing some nice stuff there.
Okay.
And I do believe there are still places available on the coach trip.
Definitely are, yeah.
If you want to book. So all the details of our field trips and indoor meetings are, look at this, seamlessly done on the website, which is ebws.org.uk. And then there's a tab at the top that's got events on. Click on there. It will take you to our indoor meetings and our guided field trips. And Matt, you and I are going to lead that one, aren't we, with Jerry?
Yes. Yeah, I'll be there. You're coming, aren't you? Which is good.
Yep, I'm coming. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back on the field trips again.
Because I kind of led it round at Lakenheath, and somebody did say to me that when you're around, we find better birds than when I'm there. So yeah.
Just luck, mate, I think.
But yeah, if anyone wants to come, contact Jerry Johnson. His phone number's on the top there. 07775 663 166 after 7 o'clock in the evening. Or you can email him. It's jerry2johnson@aol.com, or you can email me, info.ebws@gmail.com, and I'll pass it on. So or even the EBWS talks, anything basically, just let us know if you want to come, and there are spaces available. It's going to be a really, really good day out.
Yep. But before that, this time next week, we've got our first indoor, well, say indoor meeting. It's going to be a virtual meeting for the September meeting. It's at I'm not sure what time it is, Matt. 8 o'clock, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's. I'm not sure actually. I'm not 100%. I think it's 8 o'clock. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 8 o'clock. And it's Steve Cale. So if you came to the conservation conference in April, Steve Cale did a great talk on his sort of local patch. So he's back. Steve's given several talks to the society. His last one was Ethiopia, which I think was last year sometime. So he's back and he's talking about Argentina to Antarctica. So it's a journey that he made from obviously from Argentina to Antarctica, and all the birds and wildlife that he saw on the way. So, and yeah, he's a good guy, Steve.
Oh, definitely. I mean, Steve, if no one's seen him before, he's a really good talker and interesting, funny, and the thing that I've found, I mean, I've only met him a couple of times, but the thing I found with him is he's so passionate as well. You know, everything he talks about, he's got a real passion for it. So yeah, please tune in. There'll be details. Well, there's details on the website there, and we're not sure yet. It should be on YouTube. Yeah. But it'll either be on YouTube or it'll be on Zoom for members. So that will be confirmed over the next week. But I think the last one he did was on YouTube, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Sure it was.
Yeah,
so
it
again, it will be on our YouTube channel. All right.
Yeah, fantastic.
That's that. Good. Excellent. Right. So what's next?
Right.
Got any feedback?
Any feedback? So what do we got? So Andy Goody's emailed in.
Yep.
Well, this is good. I'm not sure we can answer this or not, but he says he has a question. When he submits records via the EBWS website, there's a box that says other observations. He's filled this in previously, but doesn't seem to show anywhere as far as he can see.
Okay.
He said, is this maybe for non-birding records? I got a funny feeling it might well be for like butterflies and
possibly so, and mammals and stuff, I think.
Yeah.
What we'll do, hang on, I'll find out, and because Andrew Duckett runs the website. So I'll find out for you, Andy, and I'll send you a private message on Twitter or an email or something, if that's okay. Right. So yeah, other observations. I'm not spelling observations now, so I'm going to put other obs. There you go, that's done. Right. Yeah. Okay, thanks, Andy. Anything else?
And hi from Elaine and Steve Swinney. So good evening, guys. Lovely to hear from you.
How you doing?
So, yeah.
Good.
But no feedback apart from the lovely feedback we've had so far. But
okay.
Obviously, no one's gone out birding. Mind you, it's been too hot, to be honest, most of the time. So
well, that 40-degree day was a little bit of a scorcher, wasn't it?
Was rather, yeah. You didn't really want to do anything, did you? So yeah. So yeah. So okay. Well, we hope that in the next 10-15 minutes that we get a little bit of feedback. Otherwise, it would just be you and me talking again.
Yeah, we'll chat about what we have for lunch and what we're going to have for breakfast tomorrow. Maybe, I don't know. We'll talk about something, right? But we have had some people send some stuff in. So first of all, we've had some videos, or a couple of videos sent in by Dave and Mo out at Sunnymead near Alresford. And if I can remember how to bring a video up, here we go. Where are we? Viewer content, Sunnymead Farm. So actually, that's not going to be in a format that we can share. I'll tell you what, while I'm trying to sort that out, John sent a video in, John Ward, and this one definitely is a working one. Hold on a second, here we go. So John's made a video just of some sightings he's had over the last couple of months, and he's put it together for us. So it takes about 2 or 3 minutes, and I'll play this for you, and hopefully you'll enjoy. There you go. Oh, nice, wasn't it? Yeah.
That was superb. That was. Do you know what?
I want to go to sleep now. It's really relaxing, wasn't it?
Oh, do you know what? I love that turtle dove. That turtle dove good, but it's like flying up. Yeah, really,
really good. Yeah.
cracking footage, John. That was really good.
What I really want to know is whenever I do a video of anything, A, it's normally nowhere near as good as that, and B, there's always traffic going past in the background.
Yeah, do you know what? It's so unusual to film at Abberton, obviously where some of that was taken, and not there be like, oh,
oh, amazing. Thanks for that, John. Right, I think I might have worked out how to get Dave and Mo's working. So just bear with me a second. I don't know where this is going to pop up. You're going to see a portion of screen. You'll have to tell me, can you see a badger? Yeah, no?
Yep, yes.
You
Sorry,
can,
yep.
right. Okay, right. Go. So I think this is Dave's got Dave and Mo on Sunnymead Farm. I think they've got like lots of feeding station areas, and one of them's obviously got a camera, a night vision camera on it. And they've captured this rather lovely badger. I'm not sure whether they put food out specifically for the badger, or whether it's munching any uneaten bird food. But I think that's quite fantastic.
Yeah, nice.
So that's really good, thank you. And then also, hopefully you can now see what we got: a turtle dove, a pheasant, and a crow or something in the background, or maybe blackbird probably that side.
Blackbird, I think, yeah.
Yeah. So if I press play on that one, there we go. Now there's a story on this one. So, oh, hang on a minute. Sorry, because the way I've had to do it, you're not going to see the whole video. There you go. It's limping around. So can you see that turtle dove's got a bit of a limp going on?
Yep.
On its right leg. I'll move the frame as the video goes. Sorry about this. So basically the turtle dove, obviously with the limp on its right foot. So first of all, it's different to the two birds that they had on the farm in May, which is good. And of greater interest, it's probably going to be the same bird that they had back in spring 2021. Because they had a bird over a year ago that also had a limp, identical limp in its right leg. So Dave's actually suggesting that maybe it's been shot at some time, maybe on passage or something, possibly, I don't know, and survived, or it could have just had an injury, you know.
Yeah, maybe. I think that's probably more. I think that's probably more likely. I would say it's been just.
Maybe the badger tried to get it.
Yeah, exactly. Get off my food, mate.
But no, that's really good, thank you. And then we've also had a picture sent in. So hold on a second, let me get this up for a minute.
just while you're there, Matt. Mo's just commented, said the badger was eating the turtle dove food.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope Mark Nowers isn't watching.
Yeah, exactly. If the RSPB pay for the turtle dove food and the badger eats it all.
Badger food, yay! Right. And can you see a wind chat? Yep. So this was sent in by Jan Lewis. So thanks very much, Jan, if you're watching. And that was one of two that he saw today. And he saw them at, hold on, Bowers. So he was down at Bowers and saw them. Superb. So that's always nice to see wind chat. So again, coming back to the migration aspect of things, wind chat's obviously one of our birds that passes through on migration, isn't it, in this area?
Absolutely. Yeah, now's a really good time. The next week or two, yeah, really good.
Yeah, they breed up north, don't they?
Yeah, into Scandinavia, Scotland, sort of moorlands of northern Britain, Wales. So yeah, so lots of birds moving south at the moment, south and east.
And I think a lot of people think that migration birds or bird passing through will tend to only be seen at the coast, and of course the coast is a good place to see them because they'll kind of hit the coast, feed up and move on, but they can turn up anywhere, can't they? Actually,
yeah, this time, I mean, well, like anything, yeah, birds can turn up. Yeah, I mean, worth checking your gardens. I mean, when we do a bit of a roundup later, we'll talk about garden sightings and stuff. But migrants can turn up anywhere. So you know, whether you've got a coastal local patch or an inland one, you still stand a good chance of finding stuff. And they could even turn up somewhere like Rutland and Bird Fair, couldn't they? And talking of Bird Fair, I bumped into you at Bird Fair, didn't I? Yeah, we did. Was it a seamless link or what? God, you know, we're almost professional here. It's like, so Matt and I both visited the Bird Fair back in mid-July. It was all because also the society went on the Sunday, and it was interesting. So for those who have been to almost the previous bird fair, it was quite different, new location. I felt it had a lot more space than the previous bird fair. It was much more open and it weren't so cramped. And once you're in the marquees, just like good old bird fair, you know. So yeah, I personally really enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I was there for 2. You did all 3, didn't you?
We did. Oh, did I do all 4 days? Do you know what, Matt? I can't remember. It's a long time ago.
I think you stayed on for 3, so you did well to do 4.
Oh, yeah, thanks, mate. Yeah. Yes.
Where is everyone?
Exactly. I was there on the Monday. It was just the bin men. Yeah, we did Friday, Saturday, and then half a day on the Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was probably a little bit too much, those 2.5 days, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. Yeah, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did the Friday and Saturday, and again, I'd echo what you said. Yeah, it was really good. It was kind of all the same stuff, but in different places, which sounds obvious, but there was more space, wasn't there? It seemed to be a bit more spread out and wasn't so cramped, I didn't think.
Exactly.
And I bought a finch feeder, which is really good. Quite pleased with that. It kind of, you can take the bottom off and clean it, and holds loads of food. It's about that wide and about that tall, and I filled it to the brim. And in my garden with the starlings and the house sparrows, it lasts about 3 days.
Wow.
It's kind of like gone.
So is it actually a finch feeder, or is that the name of the company? Finch.
I think it's the name of the company, and the idea is because the finches get the name escapes me, the disease they get. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, I know the one you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. And the idea is it's to make it really easy to clean it, because you only need to kind of lock and twist the bottom that comes off. It comes with a spare bottom, so you can put it straight back on again and carry on feeding.
Wow.
And then wash the first one, and it's really strong. It's really good. So yeah, I completely recommend that. And did you buy anything, Steve?
Well, yeah. Well, you know what it's like. You know, you wander around, and there's always a book or something that I'm after, or that sort of thing. So yeah, so I was at the book stand, and then I sort of turned round and went round the corner, and then I came back with that. So I've been wanting to change my camera for quite a while now, and bird fair is a great place to try stuff out. I mean, if you want a pair of binoculars, camera, what's it, thermal imaging scopes were very popular.
Yep.
Do you know what? It's a great place to try stuff out. So I want my old lenses absolutely had it, and it was a bit of a no-brainer really. The camera companies were doing a good deal. The only slight thing was I had to order the camera, and well, as Matt knows, there's a huge waiting list for these, and I emailed the camera company last week and said, how long is it going to be? And they said, oh, I should get it by the end of the year. Well, me being a little bit impatient, I couldn't wait that long. So I told my old mate Matt here, and Matt managed to source one online, which I ordered, and it turned up the next day. So
can't be bad.
So
sorry, go on. Sorry.
I've had a week of, well, not quite a week. I've had it for a week now, but so I've used it a little bit now. But yeah, very pleased with it. So
yeah, it does look good. But the funny story was that when I bumped into you at Bird Fair, Steve was carrying around this big bag, and we just bumped into each other and went for a coffee. And I said, go on then, what you bought? And he was like all beaming and pulled out this box. And the box only just came out of the bag. And it's this brand new Canon lens. I'm like, oh, lovely. I said, when are you going to use it? And he said, well, I haven't got the camera yet. And it just made me laugh that he bought a lens. He had no camera. But now you got the camera as well. And I did have a quick go on it the other day, didn't I? And
you did.
Yeah, it's very clever. Very clever. Some of the features, it's really good. And some of the the new things that they do is mind blowing, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, if you're tracking a bird in flight, it will then pick out the eye of the bird in flight and track with it, which is pretty cool. So it's not foolproof, because obviously you
do realize the bird's going to get wise to that, and if they don't want their photos taken, they're just going to be flying around like that.
exactly. Even photographs. I was with Glenn Moore and Daryl Rhymes this morning at Abberton doing some moth trapping, and I took a couple of pictures of moths, and it focused on the eye of the moth. So it's pretty cool.
Crazy.
So yeah,
I think the way they do it, they have like it's got logarithms built in that recognise what the thing is you're trying to take a picture of, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So I think it knows it's a bird or a moth, and then it knows where the eye should be and does it that way. It's so clever.
It's clever. So
mind blowing.
So what did you think of the bird fair then? You were pleased with it? Did you buy anything?
No, it was good. Yeah, I bought the finch feeder. General look around. I spent some time in some of the talks. I actually went into one of the talks, a photography talk, and it was done by a chap who I've watched a few of his YouTube videos, a chap called Tom Mason. He's an ambassador for Nikon. And I managed to grab him afterwards. And to be fair to him, I was talking to him for probably an hour and a quarter outside. Wow. He was a really nice fella. And, I hope I didn't bore him to death too much. He didn't seem to be trying to get away. Having said that, I had got the headlock quite firm, to be fair. But no, he's a really nice guy. And it's just nice to see some people and to see some different things. Yes, the shopping side of things is fun, but there's ringing, there's so many talks, and there's so much information there as well. I think it's really, really good for everyone. It's not just about going and buying stuff. And of course, you've got Rutland just down the road as well. So you can go and do some bird watching too, which is really good. Yeah.
The ospreys and stuff. Yeah. So what we got? So Steve Swinney's sent in his local sighting. So his highlight of the last pretty much from July to now is they've had 3 stone curlews at East Tilbury.
Superb.
And they move between Cliff and Tilbury. And they think there's an adult and 2 juveniles. Okay. And he's saying that the local birders are a little bit split, whether they're bred locally or maybe bred, well, presumably the Brecks or coastal Suffolk or anywhere else, and have just moved in. So, so that's a really good record. That is stone curlews in the county.
Are they still there, Steve? Do you know? Maybe you can write in and
if they're still there, Steve. I haven't seen any reports for the last week or so, or maybe this week, I think. But if they're still there, let us know. That'd be really good. Who else we got?
Andrew. Andrew said, excellent. He's watching. So for Andy Goody, Andy's already replied. Thank you. But the other observations is to know anything of interest, especially for county recorder. So you could also use the conditions field. Basically it's anything other than just standard counts or whatever. Anything interesting at all, you can pop into there, which is really useful. So thanks for that, Andrew. Brilliant.
And then Nick Weston, he said he's not allowed to take money or cards to the bird fair, which, to be fair, is a very sensible plan. I mean, to be fair, though, the only reason I've got this camera is that my poor old nan died last year, and I wanted to buy something with some money I was left. Yeah. And this is paid for that. So just in case you think I'm all rolling in money, I'm not.
Yeah. Unfortunately, both my nans are already dead, so I didn't get any money to buy anything with. But there you go. Okay, shall we move on? Right. Okay. So what were we going to do next? Where have we been and what have we seen? Where have you been?
Well, just going back quickly while we're still there. Okay. Steve said the stone curlew's been at Cliff the last 2 days.
Right. Cool.
So obviously just straight over the water.
Yeah.
And
that's a really, I mean, Essex records, to be fair. I think Brian had one at the Naze a couple of days ago, and it just kind of flew through. And I know Alf had one at Hive a couple of years ago, and I think it was in a field and it flew off and was never seen again. So usually Essex, they don't really tend to hang around for very long at all. So they've been there a while, haven't they?
Yeah, I have. And I think there was one. I think there was one down in South Essex, Newden Way, a couple of years ago that stayed for a week or so. So I presume they're just, young birds that are just. They're not in a huge. The weather's quite good at the moment. They're not in a huge rush to migrate. And I think stone curlews. I mean, they stay. They still hang around until like October now. They always used to go in September, but they stay. I've got a funny feeling in the Brecks there was one or several birds a few years ago that were almost into December. It was getting really late. Yeah, I think so.
Again, that's probably like a climate-related thing, I would imagine, or where hot weather and stuff. Yeah. Oh well. Really. In which case, if anyone hasn't got stone curlew on their Essex list, it might be worthwhile Nipping down, yeah, me neither. Nipping down to Tilbury. That new scrape there last time I was there was looking really, really good. So yeah, it's a good place to visit anyway, and you might get the bonus of stone curlew at the moment, which is really good.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
Right, where have you been?
So what have you been up to then?
Well, not an awful lot, to be fair. Shall I go first? Shall I go first?
You can do. Or I don't mind. We can.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You go then. You go. That's fine.
So yeah, so I finished doing my tours now. I finished at the end of or early July. So I normally have a bit of time off this time of year to try and catch up with admin stuff and try and get away for a few days. But unfortunately, my poor old mum was taken pretty ill a few weeks ago, so I've pretty much not been birding at all. I've been spending most of my time at Broomfield Hospital. So, but the good news is that she came out of hospital today, so that is really good. And if anyone from Broomfield Hospital was watching, you've been amazing. So thank you very much for that. So right, let me share the screen. So if you cast your mind back a few months, my old mate who's in the top right hand corner of the screen here.
Is that the best you got, mate? That doesn't count. A cardboard cutout does not count. I'm sorry.
Well, I thought I'd go and see it. I thought you wouldn't realise that was just a cardboard cutout, apart from they've got the word albatross. So this was the weekend of the bird fair. In fact, it was our wedding anniversary. So we could have gone out for a nice meal, done something special, but
take us somewhere exotic.
Exactly, and of course I did. Me being an old romantic, 4 o'clock start to drive to Bempton was as good as it gets. And and here's the albatross. So thank you very much. But no, here it is.
Yes!
Yay! Finally saw it. Do you know, if there was one bird that I really wanted to see, and it wasn't the fact that I know you'd seen it beforehand, which we always have a bit of banter, but it was just one of those birds, and it was just so delightful to watch it flying past up and down. So so that was probably bird of the year for me. This is pretty much. And of course, then while we were there, although it's a pretty rubbish picture, this is the red-tailed shrike that was hanging around and is still there at the moment. So we managed to see that. And
do you reckon it's going to be on its way soon? Because it's molted, isn't it? And it's looking pretty good now.
I suspect it will go in the next, potentially in the next week or two. But it's obviously finding loads of food there, and it's still favouring the same sort of area, which is just south of the visitor centre.
Had you seen one before or not?
No. So I've seen. So this years ago used to be called Isabelline shrike.
Yep.
If you're old school like me. And then they split them between Turkestan shrike and Dorian shrike. So I'd seen, the Isabelline shrike. I've seen a few on Sillies, and there was one at Colchester Hythe a few years ago. But now what they're saying is without DNA, especially in the autumn, you can't identify them in the field.
Okay.
They're saying unless you've got DNA to prove which race it is. But a spring bird, apparently you can tell. So so this is about I think it's about the 8th for Britain or something daft.
Superb.
So so saw that, and then Annette and I went away as it happened, just a couple of days because we had to come back, unfortunately. But I've got to see the bee eaters in Norfolk.
Yay!
So although as you saw them again so pretty much I'm just following around, seeing stuff that you've seen.
I didn't get the shrike, did I?
Didn't get the shrike, to be honest. No.
You'll be telling me you went for that blooming gold thing next. You better not say you went for that.
Oh, you know me.
Oh.
Bee eaters were really good, and I've seen bee eaters in Britain before, but it's so nice. And the RSPB have done a cracking job with the watch point at Trimmingham. And I noticed today it's closed. They closed the watch point today. All the bee eaters have disappeared. They left, I think, yesterday, and they haven't come back. So I believe they had five young, I think it was. So
wow.
Really pleased to see that. And here's one here with a bee, and here's one. This is a digiscope image with a phone. This is one feeding in the nest burrow.
Was it 2 nests then? Yeah, I think.
Yeah, there were 2 nests. I mean, from the watch point, as far as I'm aware, I only saw 1 nest, which is the one you can see now. But yeah, it was it was the good thing about it is you weren't overly close, so the birds weren't at all bothered by you, and they were flying around and perching on the wires and calling and yeah, it was a really good, and there were loads of non-birders coming, so that was that was really, really impressive. And then I saw this funny gull. No, this is the kelp gull that was at Grafham Water for about.
You know what? Next month, I'm just going to take a picture of a great black-backed gull and tweak the colour on the legs a little bit and stretch the bill out a little bit.
Yeah. To be fair, I've seen these in like West Africa, and you know what? It's not the most exciting thing in the world, is it? I mean,
it's smart though. It is a smart bird.
I'd rather see an albatross, to be honest. But
yeah. I'll be honest. If I saw that in with a load of other great black-backs or something, I don't know if I'd actually pick that out.
No.
No. It does look different when you look at it, but would you look at it? That's the thing.
Yeah, I was saying to Darryl and Glenn today, Abberton, exactly the same thing. You wouldn't even give that a glance if you were scanning through a distance. No. So well done to the finder at Grafham Water. Definitely.
So and I think it kind of, it's the lesson that maybe it's worthwhile, if you've got time and there is a flock of black-headed gulls there, have a good old look through them just in case there's a bonnies in with them or something like. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely, mate. Yeah. So that was pretty much I'd been away for 2 days before I had to cancel our holiday, but so then since then I've managed to get out locally a couple of times. So here's pied flycatcher.
Lovely.
At the Naze. The Naze has had really good numbers of pied flycatchers, and we'll talk about that in the roundup in a little while. So yeah, managed to see pied fly, and here's just a lesser white throat.
Very nice.
That I saw. So yeah, I haven't done an awful lot the last sort of few weeks, but I've managed to see some nice stuff. I'm being very lucky to see that.
Cool. Very nice.
What about you?
Yeah, I've got some bit just very quickly. Mick Woodruff saying he's going to Gibraltar for his wedding anniversary. So
nice.
Yeah, you went to Benton. You went to Benton. He's going to Gibraltar.
Yeah. Is it Gibraltar or the Spanish Gibraltar or British Gibraltar? Or,
I've got no idea. I don't know.
Or Gibraltar Point near Skegness. Knowing Mick, it's probably the Skegness one.
That would be great. And just tell his wife you're going to Gibraltar. She'll be all happy and go to Skegness. Brilliant. Right. Okay. Let's have a look. So similarly, I mean, I've been staying local, to be fair. I've been working. I have actually been working, and it's been quite busy at work, and just don't have necessarily the time and so on to go traveling miles away. But I did go up to Swanton Novas in Norfolk because I've never seen honey buzzard. And although this is a pretty poor record shot, it was nice to actually see one. And this particular bird, it was spotted in the very distance. Some chap that was there picked out a buzzard, and we both got on it and both agreed it looked like honey buzzard. And then it kind of gradually drifted closer. And although it was high up, it was really nice to be able to pick out the markings, the slightly longer wings, the carpal markings, the bars on the tail, and just that tiny little sort of pigeon head,
Yeah.
So yeah, really pleased to see that. Just a couple of shots.
Yeah, that's a good shot.
Yeah, and again, there's been some nicer shots. Obviously, these are heavily cropped, and the weather was also quite gloomy as well, so I had to overexpose to get the bird. But yeah, nice to see, definitely. More locally, around the corner in Ardley, we've had some success, obviously, on the reservoir with the great crested grebes, and I love great. I know it's great crested grebes, and you see them in lots of places, but again, I always remind myself that can you imagine if this was a rare bird? People would flock to see this bird, wouldn't they? Because it's beautiful, absolutely stunning. And the little humbugs on the back, I mean, they were making so much noise. They're just real cuties. So, and they've had a couple of broods. There was one nest quite close to the reeds, and I don't think they built it firmly enough or high enough because it kind of got flooded. So the day it got flooded, I thought, oh no, that's a shame. But the very next day, in fact, I think it might have been that evening, they were already rebuilding it.
Wow, they don't waste any time, do they?
No, and the work they put in to, to build nests and raise the young, and oh my goodness, it's incredible. Had a nice close encounter with the red kite. That was just up at Gifford's Flash. For anyone that doesn't know, Gifford's Flash is kind of near Higham on the Essex-Suffolk border. And there isn't really anywhere. There's a tiny little place to park at the end of the road, and you can walk back. But it's just a flood in a field basically, and you can only view it from the road. But it's quite a nice place. I don't know if you ever looked there. You have, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been there. I've been there several times. There was there Leicester Yellowlegs there?
Leicester Yellowlegs. There's Hooper Swan a couple of months ago as well. So yeah.
Yeah, I think last time I was there, I saw red kite. So yeah, that's good.
Yeah, really good.
And I was just going to say, red kites now are becoming 10 a penny now in Essex, which is so good.
Yeah. And then obviously at Bird Fair or Global Bird Fair, I did pop down to Rutland to try and see ospreys, and this was from I can't remember the name of the bridge now. You can probably remember.
That's Manton Bay.
Thank you. And again, you kind of park up and stand on a bridge, and you have to look through trees, and in the distance, if you're lucky, there'll be the ospreys. And there was three of them. You got two adult birds and a juvenile. And then on the second day after the Bird Fair had closed, I went round to Rutland Water itself and walked around to one of the hides. And I was lucky enough to see an osprey coming in towards me, and it was being mobbed by a couple of black-headed gulls and an avocet. And so I took a few shots.
Wow, nice.
And this picture's great because the osprey kind of banked, and the avocet's kind of got its air brakes on a little bit. I mean, they're not the best quality photos, obviously, but you can get the general idea. And the osprey just sort of dived away, and it disappeared out of sight. I was like, okay, it's obviously gone. It's either on the deck or it's doing something. And about 7 or 8 seconds later, it emerged carrying a fish and basically flew straight towards me. And so I managed to get a couple of shots of that.
Lovely evening light on that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the light was glowing through, and the bird was, it flew right past the hide. And
wow, I'm going to have a closer look. I'm sure if anyone's watching, they'll probably tell us what species of fish that is.
There you go.
It's very yellow, isn't it? It's very yellow.
Is it a rudd or something, or a perch? I don't know. I don't know fish.
I have no idea about fish.
Someone will definitely tell. Nick Woodruff says Spanish one, but I think he's referring to Gibraltar, not the fish. So.
Do you know what, Matt? Back to the bird fair thing. We went out on the Saturday night, myself and sister-in-law, a few of us and her partner. We all went out on the Rutland Bell doing the osprey cruise. There's a boat trip that goes out in the evening, and do you know what? We went round to Manton Bay and saw the ospreys. Really great trip out that was. So if you've never done the osprey trip at Rutland, well worth it. Yeah, excellent it was.
Does that run kind of through the summertime, I take it?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure if you go on the Rutland Ospreys website, it'll give you more information.
Yeah, cool. And then one morning of about 2-3 weeks ago, I think it was. In fact, it was on the 31st of July. There you go. I was making a cup of coffee, and all the starlings and sparrows were twittering around in the garden. And then all of a sudden, everything went completely quiet. And I thought, that's interesting. Turned round, and this was sat in my rather poorly looking tree at the moment. The tree hasn't had any leaves this year, so I'm not sure what's going on with it. But anyway, and I think it's a young female from the size of it. It was quite a good size, and it's a young bird because you've got the barring on the chest is quite sort of thick, and you can still see some brownish coloration in the feathering and so on. And it sat there because to start with, I didn't have my camera. So then I came through and I had to get the camera out, put a lens on, put the hood on, check the memory card was in there, check the settings were right, go back, quietly open a window, believe it or not. And this whole time I thought, there's no way it's going to sit there. And it just sat there.
Wow.
So I took quite a few photos, one of which obviously it heard the shutter going.
Lovely.
And it kind of stared right at me. So I was really pleased with that. That was quite a nice way to start the day.
You're probably thinking, what took you so long?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Like, how long do you need? I've got to go and find some food, you know.
Well, you say that, I think, because when I took the pictures, when I got them onto the computer, if you look at its beak,
yeah, it's had a little bit of a.
I think it's eaten.
Yeah.
So I reckon it's just been eating. It's probably using my tree just to digest for a few minutes before it carries on, which kind of makes sense. So that's more of an indignant kind of let me digest my dinner look. But anyway. Not just birds, dragonflies, so migrant hawkers around the corner at Ardley. Spent a little while trying to take some pictures of those and identify them in flight because they're darker at the front end, aren't they?
Yep.
Willow emeralds. So lucky enough to see a pair of mating willow emeralds, which I was really pleased with. And I love this because when they're mating, if you look at them, they look like they're smiling. I know they're not, but if you look at their little faces, well, you never know. Yeah, that's that. And a female. Sorry, go on.
No, sorry, I'm just laughing. Sorry.
And then a female willow emerald as well, just on its own, which was quite nice. And then this was off at Rainham. So Steve and I went to where did we go? We went to Hanningfield and Rainham and Bowers the other day, didn't we?
We did on Wednesday, wasn't it?
Wednesday, because I hadn't actually seen you properly. Obviously, we bumped into each other at Bird Fair, but I hadn't seen you properly since probably April, I think.
I think it was April. We got to get here. We sort of met up last time. Yeah. So
we had a
day
day's,
out, didn't we?
yeah, we had a day's birding, which was really good. And we at Rainham Marsh, we got some nice views again of migrant hawker and marsh frogs. And the marsh frogs there, I've never had such good views of marsh frogs.
Yeah, they were good.
And the noise they make is absolutely stupendous. And and they all look different. They've all got different markings, haven't they?
Yeah, bright green. Well, yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're real fun, like them. But it wasn't just frogs and dragonflies. We did stop at Bowers Marsh, and we had, how many wood sandpipers did we have? 6.
6 wood sandpipers. We double checked and went, treble checked and quadruple checked, and we keep coming up with 6, which is, which to be fair, I think that's the biggest flock I've seen there. 6.
And over 30 green stands, wasn't it, as well, I think?
Yeah, and snipe, and it was looking really good.
Yep. And then yesterday, again, making a cup of coffee, turned around. I didn't even have my glasses on. I thought there's something very strange looking hopping around the tree. It can only be a woodpecker. And yeah, nice, great spotted woodpecker. This looks like a young male to me, I think.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a young male, yeah.
So it's young because it's still red on the top of its head, but the back of its head was quite red from other angles. So I think the back's going to stay red and the top looks like it's going to go black. So I reckon that's a male. And then finally, for anyone watching, any regulars, yay! You'll be pleased to know that Colin, which is that one there, and Betty at the end. Oh, no, sorry, Betty here. And then the 3 young ones, you've got Hopper and Cheryl and Russell. They're all okay. They're all still alive. They're all still eating. They're now on Tesco sausage meat, cut into very small pieces. I have to scatter some at the front because Tina's away at the moment. And I have to scatter some elsewhere because there's 2 lesser blackback gulls that are now trying to get the sausage meat. So they have to be diverted. But the crows have worked out that if they gang up in 3 or more at a time, then the lesser blackback gull won't come near them, which is quite interesting. So they're now in little gangs of 3 and 4 to get the sausage meat, and the lesser blackbacks stay away. So there you go.
That's amazing. They're the most well-fed crows in Essex, they are.
I think they're getting egg mayonnaise tomorrow morning.
Hope free range egg, I hope.
Of course. Anyway, right, okay.
So what we got? So Mick Woodruff. He's going to. Like he said, he's going to the Spanish one. We've got a bit of a fish off. That sounds wrong.
A fish off. Oh.
Yeah. So Steve Swinney thinks it's a rudd. Thinks it's a rudd, and Mick says Woodruff says it's roach. They both begin with R. So
that'll do me. If it begins with R, that's fine. We'll agree on that. Right. Okay. So the voting on the competition is now well closed. So we'll do the results after the break, which is good. I don't know if anyone wants to discuss any of the things that we said. So water levels. I don't know if anyone's seen any strange birds locally that they wouldn't normally have. I know I've had more common sand than normal at Ardley, and I think I've had breeding little ring plovers this year on the gravel pits. So I saw a juvenile on the mud at the reserve the other day. So again, let us know. We can discuss that later on. And again, just let us know if you went to Bird Fair. Did you go? Did you enjoy it? Marks out of 10. Would you go again next year? What did you think of the new venue? Migration stuff. Again, let us know if you've seen anything locally on migration. We're going to cover sightings in the second half. And I think that's about it, really, isn't it? Unless you've got anything, Steve.
I've got nothing on Facebook or nothing. No, I think we're all up to date, mate. So,
okay, cool.
So probably a good time for a break. We've had an hour. So
yeah. So if we have a little breaky poos, see if I can find the break. Hang on a minute. Right, can you see that?
I can. Yeah, perfect,
Okay,
mate.
cool.
Perfect.
So this is about 3 or just under 3 minutes. We're going to mute our mics. I'll probably go and grab a quick cup of water or something. And we'll see you all in a few minutes' time. See you in about 3.
See you in a minute.
We're not going to get away with that, mate, because I've just realised I left my camera on through it, so everyone can see I wasn't here. I was getting a drink and then coming back in and having a drink.
I was playing. I was like, oh, do you know what? My arms ache from playing those bongos through that. Oh, do you know what?
That's a bit of fun. And just remind everyone that was the photos, obviously the entries from the photography competition. So what I should have been doing during the break was checking the results of the photography competition, but I have already kind of done it. And to be fair, I've just double checked, and the results are as they were, if that makes sense. So we can do that in just a second. Hold on one moment. Steve's going to film me.
This is what we've been waiting for. We've had some feedback about birding, so this is really good. So Jonathan Norgate, he said there's a big fall of willow warblers last week, with over 20 on West Mersey, with a pipe flycatcher, but he's only had one in his garden. So obviously maybe just, I don't know, moving down the coast or something. Back to our fish. Steve Swinney says it's a hybrid. Good answer. I like that one, Steve.
Like
nice one.
Yeah.
And then back with your sparrowhawk. Glenn Moore had a sparrowhawk fly through his house a couple of days ago. The front door was, the front window was closed, and it ended up in a heap on the floor.
Was it all right?
Yeah, I think Glenn released it. So it's a good lounge tip.
We'll cut to Glenn in a minute, and on his mantelpiece there'll be a stuffed sparrowhawk.
And Malachi Taylor's written in He said he had the Rhineck, which presumably was the Raynham one, and it ended coming up 3 to 4 feet away from him on the path. So.
Wow.
Yeah, there's some good photographs of that around at the moment. So
Yeah,
which we'll see in a bit.
yeah. I think there was it seen yesterday?
I think it was reported. Yes, I don't know. Yeah, I think it was reported yesterday briefly. I think.
Okay, cool. So should we do the results of the photography competition in reverse order?
Yep, go for it, mate. Go for it.
Once again, thanks to everyone who sent in, thanks to everyone who voted, thanks to all the people on the committee that judged the photos as well to get the final 16 to go into the public vote. And congratulations to everyone who made it through to the quarterfinals, semi-finals and finals. So in 4th place, without any further ado, we have Tree Creeper.
Oh, nice.
And this was sent in by Steve Cox. And I think this is a lovely picture because it's got a real grainy feel to it. Do you know what I mean? It's like the bark is replicated by the background behind the tree creeper, and the bird itself obviously looks like bark anyway. So
yeah, it's nice.
It's a really nice picture, that one. I like that.
Yeah, no, that's nice.
Now, this is a little bit unusual because we've been running the competition for a little while now. We had 3 monthly competitions, and I think this is now our fourth quarterly one. So 7 competitions total, but this is the first time that the top 3 are all by the same photographer, which is quite impressive, to be fair, because no one knows who the photos are by apart from me, obviously, and I don't tell anyone. So in 3rd place, we have a rather lovely male kingfisher from Adrian Galley. In 2nd place, we have the little owl staring rather petulantly at the camera, pouting almost, isn't it?
It is.
And of course, that means in 1st place, congratulations, Adrian. It's the Little Owl Trio, which I'd love. It's almost like this one's been bullying this one, and then its sibling is kind of sticking up for it, and this one's hiding, isn't it? And you know, it's just a great picture. I love that. It's a really
cracking shot. I mean, not funny. Everyone loves owls.
Yep.
You know, so it's a good, worthy winner that is.
Yeah, so congratulations, Adrian. I'll be in touch, try and find out where you live, and we'll get your frame picture and certificate to you as soon as we can. So yeah, well done on that. And just for information, we'll be running a autumn competition, and that will be starting on September the 1st. Details will be on the website, ebws.org.uk, and look out for it. Yeah, 1st of September, it'll run until probably middle of November, I think.
Say so, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we'll announce the winners on the November show.
Cool, excellent. So talking about our next show, or well, not our next show, you said November show, but talking about our next show, or one in October or whenever, because next month we've got the Big County Birdwatch, haven't we?
Yeah, we've got the Big County Birdwatch. If I can,
so we'll be talking about that in a few seconds. But we're not going to be doing one of these next month because we plan to hopefully do a half-hour roundup every night of the Big County Birdwatch. So for those that don't know, the Big County Birdwatch started how many years ago now? 3-4 years ago, just before COVID, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was 19, wasn't it? 2019.
Yeah, 19.
First year. Yeah.
And in 2019, we ran a series of guided walks throughout a 4-day weekend, running Friday through Monday.
Yep.
And that's when this all started as well, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah.
Was it the first year or the second year we did? I can't remember. It was the first year, I think.
That was the first year. Yeah.
Maybe Steve can remind us, because obviously Steve was involved in the starting of all of this as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And of course, during COVID, we couldn't really do anything. So we still did the event, but it was kind of us all running around and bird watching and reporting in. So this year, excitingly, we're going to be having some more guided walks, aren't we?
Yes. So we're going to have guided walks over the 4 days. So we've got guided walks planned. Fingers crossed. We're still at the final stages of planning. So keep an eye on the website for more details. But yeah, we're hopefully starting they'll be all over the county as far as we can do them. We've got northeast to Holland Haven, the Nays, Heybridge, Abberton, Fingering Hoe. Where else have we got?
We're going to hopefully cover a bit down south, maybe Raynham Marshes, Two Tree Island, possibly do a morning or a 3 or 4 hour walk on Wallasey Island even.
Sorry, not Gunners Park, Bowers Marsh. Sorry.
Yeah, Bowers Marsh. So there's Heybridge Basin, Hanningfield as well we're doing. So there's a few of us on the committee that are going to be helping out and leading walks. And as I said, there'll be information on the website. This is really, it's a bit of fun, obviously, but the idea behind it is to kind of get a snapshot of the birds that are around on that given weekend. Next year, we're moving it to the spring, which will be interesting because it'll be bird song as well as stuff coming through in the spring.
Yeah, we're doing early May, aren't we? Early May, 5th to the 8th of May, 2023. So that'll be interesting to see, what sort of numbers of species we get. So yeah,
definitely. And obviously this year that Andrew's going to have a portal where you can all easily enter your sightings. We're going to hopefully try and advertise it as far and wide as we can so that people get involved. And I'm no doubt we'll run a little mini pretend competition to see who sees the most. Because I think last year, who won it? Was it Ben Rumsby won it last year?
Won it last year, yeah.
From his bedroom because he had COVID, didn't he? So
yeah. Do you know what he beat? No, he did a cracking job. He did. So
we might as well call it the Ben Rumsby Award because if he's out of his bedroom this year, we've got no chance, have we?
Yeah. Oh, and Steve's come back. He said the BCBW started in 2019 because it was the 75th anniversary or 70th anniversary of the society.
Yeah.
And we did the YouTubes the year after.
That's right, because I think we did it because of COVID, didn't we? Because we couldn't get out.
Yeah. And then the Birds of Essex followed on from that. So without Steve, we wouldn't be doing this. So
thank you. Yeah, thanks, Steve.
That's great. Thanks, Steve. But
brilliant.
So we're looking forward to the Big County Birdwatch. Just because the weather will be nice, or I'll say nice. A little bit of murk's quite good. Drop a few migrants in.
Well, yeah. I mean, if it goes really horrible, we might have to go down to Canvey Point or do some sea watching off Holland or something. That'd be good.
Yeah.
But, so next month we're not going to be doing like a monthly show, but we're going to do try and do a half-hour roundup every evening of the Big County Birdwatch weekend. If we haven't passed out during the day because of all the bird watching, but that's the plan for next month. So in October, what we want to know is we've been asked for a couple of features, haven't we, Steve?
Yeah, we've met people out in the field, and and if you're out birding and you see Matt or I, which come up and say hello. We do get quite a lot bit of feedback, don't we, while we're out in the field? Or especially you do anyway. You seem to get recognised more than I do, which is I've no idea why.
I've got one of those faces, I think.
Yeah, probably on Crime Watch or something. But if you've got any subjects you want us to cover, please let us know, because again, it's all about you people watching at home. What do you want us to do? Within reason. I'm not dressing up like a clown or something, but so if you want, so we've got a few ideas for future shows, haven't we? So what are they then, Matt? So
we've been asked to do an identification feature on yellow-legged gull, which I can't even say, Caspian gull, and probably throw in herring gull as well. So that's something we're going to work on. We might have to get some outside help in as well to make it even more accurate, because I've got a bit of track history in getting them right, and also a little bit of track history in getting them wrong sometimes, which they're not always easy. So that will probably be something for later in the year, I would imagine. We'll do.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. That'll be a winter show.
Also, we've been asked to do one of our site guides for Holland Haven. So we've already done Abberton Reservoir, Rainham Marshes, and we did something for the Manningtree Walls and Quay and along the Stour to Catawade. So we've been asked to do Holland Haven. Again, if there's any sites in Essex within reasonable travelling distance that you want us to cover, bear in mind we're both in Colchester, but we don't mind doing it, to be fair, then let us know and we'll try and do those in the future as well. And we were asked if we could do a feature on bird photography, more down the lines of the settings that you should be using and explaining things like aperture priority, shutter priority, ISO, depth of field, those kind of things. So would anyone be interested in that? And would you like us to do it live, or would you like us to pre-record it? Let us know.
Yeah,
let us know.
Yeah.
Cool.
So please, we want to know what you want us to do. And when we've got lots of ideas, for future shows. We're not like scrapping around with no idea what to do.
It may seem like we've got no idea what to do, but
Exactly.
we do try and plan it. Yeah. Right. So talking about that, what's next? Bird news around the county, I think, isn't it?
So July was pretty quiet in the county. I'm going to do the south of the county. So I'm doing from sort of, the Thames up to Heybridge way. So yeah, July was pretty quiet. There was a few bits around, but nothing exceptional. But certainly August has really kicked off in good form. So starting down on the Thames. So as we mentioned earlier, and Steve and Elaine mentioned stone curlews, 3 stone curlews at Tilbury. What else we've got? Stone curlew, Little Gull and Gargany both been at Tilbury. They had a honey buzzard over, which was a good record. And then in the last week or two, there's been more black terns. We've had the wind's gone a bit more easterly, so black terns, both pied flycatcher, spotted flycatcher, and curlew sandpiper down at Tilbury. Wryneck at Rainham is the. I don't know if I can share screen. This was put into the Essex Birdwatching Society website by Jason Hicks. Excellent photograph of Wryneck, which was found last Sunday at Rainham.
Superb.
And stayed, was there for 4 days or so.
Yep.
Showed incredibly well for the first few days.
Until about 10 o'clock on Wednesday when we got there.
Exactly. Yeah. That's because we were too busy watching ducks and stuff at Hanningfield, mate. And also we were too relaxed. So, and I didn't want to see the Wryneck anyway, to be honest. So, so that's been a spoonbill at Rainham. Bowers Marsh again has had 3 spoonbills, cattle egret, great white egret, which are now becoming common within the county. And it started off with the highest count with 3 wood sandpipers at Bowers, and then obviously it increased to 6 birds when we were there this week. Canby Point's been pretty good in the last month. Again, great time of year for sort of seabird movement. So black terns, little terns, little gull. And then on the 17th, 2 really good Essex species. Roseate tern, which is not an easy bird to catch up in Essex, but even better than that was Corey Shearwater.
Oh,
that was seen flying up river.
Who saw that?
Yeah, it was quite the Canby Sea Watchers, Jeff Sayward, Neil Chambers, I think found it, I believe. Lawrence Drummond was just happened to be there and saw it. So yeah, it was seen by quite a lot of observers. So that was really good. Two Tree Islands had curlew sand. Gunners Park again sort of sticks out on the edge of the Thames. Been good for pied fly, redstart, windchat, tree pipit, and there's been an osprey there that's commuting. Well, it's seen from Gunners Park all the way up to sort of Wakering Stairs, and they turn up annually there this time of year, so that's really good. Hanningfield, we were talking about low water levels earlier. Hanningfield, the water level there. I mean, we were there on Wednesday, and I have to say, it looks really good there. Lots of waders. There's been pectoral sandpiper and wood sandpiper seen in the last few weeks. Unfortunately, some of those birds have been in areas that there's no general access, but I'm sure they'll wander within viewing from the Hyde or the Causeway. What else has been there? Yeah, yellow-legged gulls. 54 red-crested potsherds is the highest count from there.
How many?
Right. Yeah, we had 44, and Daryl Rhymes had 54. So
wow.
And then this week there was a little bit of rain on. Actually, it was yesterday, wasn't it? A bit of rain yesterday, and there were black terns dropped in, which was good. Just outside Chelmsford, Russell Green near Boreham, that had a wood sandpiper earlier in the month. The sort of Malden area has been pretty quiet, with Little Gull at Heybridge has been the best.
Okay.
And then just to finish off, Old Hall Marshes had a redneck phalarope, juvenile redneck phalarope for a few days. Little stint, spoonbills again, nice good numbers of spotted redshanks, up to sort of 18, 19 birds. and then cattle egrets and a couple of turtle doves. And then just heading up to we don't get many reports from the northwest of Essex, but there was a white stork at Newport up at, and there was a report of a black kite, Elsenham, I think it was as well, on the EBS website. So yeah, so things are starting to get going now, which is really good. So how's the north half of the county been?
Yeah, so I mean, fairly similar, really, to be fair. Fairly quiet for the early part of July. A few bits and pieces still around. So right at the end of June, on the 21st of June, Darrell Style had a golden oriole at the Naze, which is always a nice bird to find. And there was little gull on the 9th of July. Richard Jeffrey found a little gull at Holland Haven. From the 5th to the 11th of July at the Naze, there was a short-eared owl reported, which is really like, so it's quite kind of, well, either very late or early for shorties to still be around. So,
or a breeding bird somewhere, maybe.
Maybe, yeah, that'd be interesting. Yeah, and again on the 11th of July at the Naze, Brian Combs had little gull. There's been lots of pied flycatchers around. So Mike O'Hanlon at the Naze, I think this was, or it might have been Holland actually. This one, sorry, Holland Haven.
Yeah, Holland Haven.
Got a nice photograph of quite a confiding pied flycatcher. Really nice bird. I still haven't seen one yet this year. I've been trying to find one. To be fair, I haven't been out to Holland Haven to try and find one out there. I've been walking around Ardley hoping to find one, but no joy yet. Yvonne Watling had one in her garden in Colchester, didn't she?
She did. I mean, to be fair, Matt, we were talking about what can turn up in your garden. I mean, I think it's about the 16th, 17th of August. There were good numbers of pied flies right across the county, people's gardens, inland, coastal. So,
yeah, and
it's not an easy bird to see in the autumn, to be honest.
No, but it's always worth watching. You know, and particularly, I think titflocks. They tend to kind of drag things with them, don't they? If you know, if you're lucky, yeah. So yeah, that's a really nice picture, and thanks to Mike for letting us use that. And then on the 13th of July, Brian Combs found that's a wheat ear. Brian's wheat ear picture from over at the Naze. Brian's been taking some really nice pictures and sharing them on the website recently. But he found this little bad boy, Kentish plover, which is nice.
Good bird, that is.
Yeah, and that was around again. I think that was around for a day, or I don't think it was seen on the second day. Not if I remember correctly. I think it went through quite quickly. But Mike O'Hanlon managed to get a picture of the other side of it as well. So it's just a really sweet little bird. Holland Haven on the 20th of July. Wood Sandpiper. 22nd of July. Caspian Tern. Paul Brayshaw off of Frington. Caspian Tern flying past. That's a great bird to find. Yeah, really good, really good. 25th of July, Little Stint at the Naze. Again, that was Brian found that. 1st of August in Little Clacton, Pete Newton reported a goshawk.
Wow.
Nice. Yeah, they are around. There's some sort of further down the county, I think, as well, occasionally seen. 9th of August in Abberton, Howard Vaughan had a wood sandpiper. Holland Haven, there's been a red start. I think I've got a picture of that somewhere. There you go. Again, Mike O'Hanlon managed to get a picture of that. Female type red start.
Yeah,
could be a job, couldn't it? Or probably a female.
Juvenile, yeah.
Yeah. Especially this time of year, especially, yeah. Abberton, there was a bittern at Abberton. Russ Sheriff had a bittern flying over Abberton. Up to 4 Gargany have been seen. Darrell Rhymes had 4 on the 14th, as well as a couple of raven. So there's 2 raven that they were around at Abberton year and a half ago. They seem to be back. It's the same ones.
Yeah, I think there's an adult and a young one, I believe, isn't there? So
okay. Yeah. We've got 3 black tern going past Frington on the 16th. Again, that was Paul. The Naze and Frington had tree pipits on the 16th, so presumably the same birds passing through. Red start again at the Naze on the 17th. I think did you find that, Steve? I know you saw it.
Was that, sorry, Matt?
The red start at the Naze on the 17th.
No, Brian Coombs found it.
Brian found it.
Yeah, Brian found it, and I saw it a couple of hours later.
And again, on the 23rd, Brian had a great day at the Naze. Stone curlew flyover, as I mentioned earlier on. And he also had a wryneck very quickly on the ground that then flew off and wasn't seen again. Abberton, there's been up to 17 spoonbill there now, which is quite incredible. Sean Nixon had 17 there the other night. And it's a mixture of adults and young birds, isn't it?
It is, yes.
Holland Haven had a cattle egret drop in on the 25th, and the Stanway Stanway white stork, that's not easy to say, that's been seen locally again, in and around the zoo, the pits, and it's been roosting on lampposts down Western Approach, I think, hasn't it?
It has. It wasn't there at 6:15 this morning, Matt. Let me tell you that. In fact, I drove round twice just in case it came in while I was driving round.
Oh, I've got a few quick pictures which I grabbed off the website of different things as well. This is one of the cattle egrets at Abberton, which we'll talk about in a second. That's taken by Michael Davies. Thank you. He also had a nice golden plover there, actually, which I know it's not an unusual bird, but I haven't seen one yet this autumn, and that was obviously quite a close one. Little ring plovers have bred at Abberton again this year, which is really nice. So they always look really cute when they're just out of their eggs. Turtle doves still, I think there's still a couple of turtle doves at Radness at the moment. This is Zane Sargent sent this picture in. Michael Davies sent the picture in of the little ring plover as well. So thanks to everyone who puts the pictures on our website. We'll try and share some of them if we can. But the exciting news at Abberton this year is that not only have there been little ring plovers breeding, and not only have we had about 1 million spoonbills breeding again this year, but what else have we had breeding there?
So we've got the second year running spoonbills are bred, raised 2 young, which is really good. But cattle egrets, I can't top of my head remember how many pairs there are there now, but there's at least 4 or 5 nests.
Yeah, I think it's 4 active nests.
Yeah, which is, I mean, they were found to be breeding back in 2020, so it's gone from presumably 1 pair to, 4 odd pairs. And I think Daryl this morning had 15, 16 birds there. Yeah.
I mean, this afternoon I had, because I was there briefly, there was certainly at least 7 young, I think, in the trees, all flapping around. And they're kind of hopping from branch to branch now. And there was 3 or 4 adults that flew in and out as well. So, I mean, cattle egrets, it's kind of, little egrets obviously are now really quite widespread, aren't they? And great white egrets are fairly widespread in certain areas, and cattle egret are going that way as well, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean,
and spoonbill.
I mean, all these birds were like, and we were saying that we think the flock of 17 spoonbills is the biggest flock recorded in Essex.
Right.
Yeah. So because Ben Moore was saying that he had a flock of 9 or so a few years back, and that was the biggest flock at the time. So 17 is a huge number. But places in Norfolk have had flocks of 55 or so. So maybe in the next few years we can see that sort of thing happening. Yeah,
but you had an interesting spoonbill, didn't you?
Yeah. So when I managed to get out the other week, if I can find a picture of it and share it. So this is not the best shot in the world. And if I can find out how to zoom in. So there's a bird in the middle here, which you can just about make out a white ring on its, or a sort of pale ring on its leg, and a metal ring on its right leg.
Yeah.
So I was there early one morning, and I managed to read the ring number on that. So hold on, I've got to find. Oh, that's not going to work, is it? So hold on, just bear with me. This is where it always goes horribly wrong.
While you're doing that, we've got a little bit of feedback. So Steve Swinney in the last week, yellow-leg gulls, curlew sandpipers, windchat, pied and spotted flycatchers, red start, willow warblers, and turn movement has begun upriver, including little black sandwich with 100+ common. So loads of stuff I presume that's all at Tilbury, so that's really good to see. Mick Woodruff said, can we do a site guide to the Naze, if possible?
That's good. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. That might take a little while to do, actually, because there's that massive long walk that you can do, isn't there? So that's going to be a whole day thing, I reckon. We'll have to plan that.
Okay.
And we've had another comment from Steve. Easterly's incoming days could be useful for a skewer or a shearwater, of which Canberra recorded a corries last week. So he's had an amazing year locally with 6 patch lifers and 135 for his local year so far. So that's really, really good. And Steve's saying that Ben Rumsby found the wryneck. Excellent. Superb.
And then in the meantime, I found the spoonbill information.
Hey.
So the spoonbill was ringed in Holland in 2020 on the coast.
Okay.
work. I can't even pronounce that. Never mind. So it stayed there for the summer, and then in sort of January, it headed to Dorset, and then along the south coast in the spring, and then it worked its way up the east coast, so around Holme, Burnham, Deepdale, so on the Norfolk coast, and then it went over to Frampton Marsh in 2021, where just here it was reported by Mo Jackson.
Yay!
Watching tonight. So the Abberton spoonbill was reported by you in September. Well, I assume that's you anyway. In September 2021, and then in October it went down to the Marcanterre Reserve in northern France.
Wow!
And then back over to the UK, where it spent 6 months in Dorset, and then in this spring it was seen at Braden Water, and then 2nd of August Abberton from me. So yeah, it's got about a little bit, sort of commuting, backwards and forwards. So hopefully, this bird might. They don't normally start to breed until the second year, so maybe this bird will turn up somewhere in one of the breeding colonies. Which will
Yeah,
be really...
could be. And we had a similar sort of bit of detective work. That was really good detective work, by the way. Well done. Darryl Rhymes at Abberton, he had a little egret with a ring. It had an orange H on the left leg and a yellow B on the right leg. And it took him ages to get those pictures, didn't it? Or to confirm that. Weeks
and weeks of trying to. And obviously, like, if you go to Abberton and you see the egrets, they're coming in and out of the colony. You can't see the legs properly. So he persevered, and eventually he was rewarded. So
that poor little egret probably thought it got a stalker. Like, he's always taking pictures of my legs. What's wrong with him? But anyway, so he finally got the information, and basically, he finally cracked the ring on the breeding little egret in the heronry. Orange H on left, yellow B on right. The bird was originally ringed as a 3rd calendar year or more, so at least 3 years old, at Lemsford Springs in Hertfordshire in January 2013, which means it's at least 11 years old now, 11, 12 years old. The average longevity of little egrets is around about 5 years, and the longest lived on record is 14 years. So 11, 12 years old is getting on a bit. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Remarkably, it's not been reported anywhere between 2013 and this summer. That's quite interesting, because I wonder where it's been.
Oh, that, or it hides its legs all the time.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
And then it thought, it's thought this year, I thought, what? I'll give him a bit of a chance to see where I've been.
Just sneak a leg out.
Like,
well, look at my suntanned arm. That's ridiculous. Look, that was the sun we had on Wednesday. I'm like two-tone. That's incredible. Right, anyway. Okay, so where are we up to?
So that's the bird news. So we were talking about bird of the month. I mean, I suppose I would say maybe Corey Shearwater's probably bird of the month, just for rarity wise.
I think the Kentish plover maybe runs it fairly close, but
Kentish plover's a good bird, and the nays, the majority of the records for Essex have been up on that sort of northeast corner. So what do you think bird of the month is out of ones we've mentioned tonight? Yeah.
Corey Shearwater or Kentish plover or something else. What do you think? Just pop it in the chat quickly. We've got a few minutes left. Right. So BCBW, we've kind of covered that up, haven't we? So look out for that on the website, Big County Birdwatch, and please take part if you can, even if you just do a bit from your garden and put some sightings on there, that'll be great. But if you want to join Steve and I or any of the other guys, I think Neil's going to be doing a walk down at Bowers, Jerry's doing a walk at Hanningfield, Simon Wood is going to be doing a walk at Haybridge Basin. So I think was that who else is doing one? I think someone else is doing one. And Mark Nowers, of course he is. Sorry, Mark. Mark Nowers is doing one on the walls at Mistley, which will be a really good walk along the south bank of the Stour. There's always loads of good stuff there. So all the details will go onto the website once we've actually worked it all out. And please come along, please join in. It will be really good fun.
Also,
membership.
We do this every month. If you're not a member, please join the society. It's 10. No, it's not £10.
Is it? Hang on, I'll join now.
That's what I've been paying for years, £10. It's £16. £16 to join. And our publications, which with Matt and I, we get so you get 2 copies of Essex Birding magazine. Sorry, it's that way.
Cool. Yeah.
This is the brand new one.
Yeah, the latest one is brilliant, actually.
So yeah, fabulous magazine, full of great articles, superb photographs.
A big well done to Greg as well for the colour scheme on the front. You probably noticed it's obviously in support of Ukraine and everything that's going on out there. And there's a feature inside about Ukrainian birding, so it's well worth a read. So yeah, really good.
Yeah, so you get 2 copies of Essex Birding, so 6 monthly issues, and then the sort of the Bible, the Essex Bird Report, which is, it's all about what's happened in that year. There's tables, graphs, excellent photographs. I mean, Neil Sumner and his team do a cracking job producing this, which is not easy, as I have a past experience. So yeah, so you get all these for 16 quid, and you can come, and you get a picture card. So you can come along to our evening talks or watch virtually. So yeah, so please join, please subscribe to the YouTube channel.
I mean, to join, if you want to join, if you want to get joining as a present for somebody, or if you know someone that hasn't joined yet, just go onto our website, ebws.org.uk, and there's a join button at the top of the home screen, takes you here, tells you a bit about us, about our history, and then you can join by just simply clicking on the button at the bottom there. So it's nice and simple and straightforward. And also, while I'm on here very quickly, if I go back to the home page, if you go right down to the bottom, you can, if you want to, subscribe, and you'll receive news and information to do with the society. So we send out information to do with the field trips, the monthly talks, anything we're doing online. Big County Birdwatch info will be sent out via that. So anything that we're doing that you can get involved with, we try and let you know via that as well. So you don't have to be a member to subscribe to that. Just go onto the homepage, scroll down to the bottom, hit fill in your details, hit subscribe, and away you go.
So yeah, so we've had Edward Hill says, excellent show. Thanks for letting him join. He's enjoyed it. So thanks, Edward, for that. John Peacock says, what about the caption competition for the White Stork at Colchester Zoo? Well,
that was done last month, in June, wasn't it?
We did that in June.
John, if you go to our YouTube site, you can watch June's episode tonight, straight after this one.
You can find out what the winner of the caption competition is. Yeah, so that was put on. We did a similar thing. We put pictures on Twitter, Facebook, and we asked people to come up with a caption. Obviously, it's still on Facebook, so that's probably where he's picked it up from. So, yeah, so apologies for that, John. So, yeah, watch June. What else we got? Sandra Bell. Oh, she's just joined us. She said I guess she's gonna have to rewind. Yeah, good night, Sandra.
Hello and welcome to
yeah, what else we got? And Pete Dwyer, our great membership secretary, has messaged in to say thanks to everyone who's joined the last few days. So, also if you join now, you get an extra few months membership, basically free of charge. So that is really good.
We've got to say hello to someone. Mick Woodruff's granddaughter Lacey is watching.
Hi, Lacey.
Hi, Lacey. How you doing?
Are you keeping Grandad Mick awake?
I hope Grandad's bought you some binoculars so you can go bird watching.
Yep. Excellent. Good work.
And Steve Cox earlier, I missed it, but he said he's very chuffed to have come forth with his tree creeper picture. And thanks for the kind comments. Well, to be fair, thanks for the photo. The photo was fantastic. And yeah, thank you for entering. Really good.
So yeah, Steve Swinney says, great entertainment, guys. A great Friday entertainment. There's obviously nothing on TV tonight, is there? So
right.
Yeah. So
right, no, hang on a minute. Hang on. We're going to have a new campaign. There's going to be a new feature called Ban Jan. I think I'm going to ban Jan from the chat. I've just seen that.
That as well. So yeah, okay. So Pete Dwyer says if Lacey is which I guess if she's under 18, she can join the society for £4.
Oh, there you go. So Lacey, you got to ask Grandad for £4 and a pair of binoculars then.
She's asking for that, and then you can spend the other £6 on something down the shop. So
And Jan, he said, do I have short sleeve shirts behind me in the summer and long sleeve in the winter? Well, to be fair, it's pretty much short sleeved, all of them. Yeah, I've got a built-in wardrobe over there, and that is full of Tina's stuff. Okay, it's literally it didn't used to be. I used to have half, she had half, and it's like it's got 4 doors on it, and it's full of all of her stuff now. So I've now got a rail, which I just put the shirts I kind of wear regularly on for work, and yeah, that's it. I'll try and put something more interesting on there next month if I can.
We can do what's on Matt's coat hanger rail.
Yeah, what's on the rail?
On the rail. Oh, you could do it. Oh, yeah.
Rail of the month.
Rail of the month. Is it a water rail? Is it a clapper rail? Is it a... Oh, brilliant.
Fantastic.
John Peacock said, do we send reminders out for members to renew? Yeah, on MailChimp. It's a good way of... Matt does that. So, yeah, if you're not on our MailChimp mailing list, as Matt said, bottom of the website, fill it in, boom, you'll get a reminder. But membership,
it's 1st of Jan, isn't it, really?
I was going to say, 1st of January, memberships are due. So, but yeah.
Steve said, great Friday evening entertainment, guys. Thanks. Yeah, cheers, Steve. And thanks for watching.
And we
hope you're both well.
We do really appreciate everyone watching because, you know, it makes it fun. Well, we enjoy it anyway, but it just makes it nice and fun.
Definitely. Right. So next month, what are we looking forward to, and what do you want to, well, looking forward to Big County Birdwatch, really.
Birdwatch. And as Steve mentioned earlier, we've got Easterlies this weekend. And I looked at the weather forecast earlier, and it looks like Easterlies for 5 or 6 days. I wonder whether the weather's a bit good, but the stuff will still arrive. So, you know, if you get out birding, please put your sightings on the Essex Birdwatching Society website.
Yeah.
Very simple to do. All the instructions are on there because, you know, basically things like the bird report, it's all generated from members' sightings. So without people sending in sightings and adding stuff to the website, there's nothing to put in here. So do that. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to, now my good old mum's out of hospital, I'm looking forward to getting out birding again, to be honest.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'd be good.
Well, I want to see a pie flycatcher, hopefully. And yeah, just looking forward to the weekend at the end of September in the Big County Birdwatch. I don't want to wish another month away already because they go quickly as it is, but it's going to be a good one, I think. Yeah, fingers crossed we'll get good weather. Obviously, don't forget we've got the indoor meeting or the Zoom meeting next Friday with Steve Kale. So don't forget to look out for that. Again, we'll send out reminders on that on MailChimp, but just log into our YouTube channel. I think it's going to be by YouTube, so the details will go out there over the next few days, and you'll just better tune in and watch on the night and ask questions. I think that's about it, really, isn't it? Yeah, Dungeness. Dunge. Yeah.
Sunday the 11th of September. So I hope to see, Matt and I hope to see as many of you as possible. Looking forward to a good day's birding. And yeah, fingers crossed for decent weather.
Yep.
Be really good. So
excellent.
And our final... what have we got here? I missed. Yeah,
Paul's there. Hi, Paul.
Hi, Paul. Good evening. Paul Everett's watching. Mick Woodruff said his daughter's 7 going on 17. That's good.
Excellent.
And as Pete's just mentioned on the chat, we're all volunteers. We don't get paid for this, you know, as much as. Although, to be fair, if our subscribers go up by about another
100,000,
yeah, 100,000, we might get a couple of quid each. So, so please subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel, because then Matt and I can retire.
Yeah. And if Swarovski want to send us some stuff to review, then we're happy to do that as well to get our numbers up, of course.
Absolutely. Yeah. And in fact, if any companies want to send us any birding gear to try out, review, we're more than happy to do it. Unbiased, you know. Actually,
in all seriousness, we would, wouldn't we? You know, obviously we give it back. I'm not joking, but I'd be quite happy to review stuff. Yeah, it'd be great.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you know anyone that runs a, you know, book company, anything, we're happy to review stuff on our show. So yeah, that'd be really good.
Lovely.
Yeah, so yeah, everyone's got lots of nice comments tonight, Matt. So we must be doing something right.
Oh, thank you very much, everyone. Really nice. Yeah, thank you. Enjoy it. And good to see everyone. And we'll be back, well, with Big County Birdwatch at the end of September. With what you'll be able to do, there'll be 4 half-hour shows. And to start with, we'll all look like this. And then day 2, we're probably going to look a bit like this. Then day 3, it'll be kind of like this. And day 4, it'll just be probably my shirts, to be fair. And there'll just be a snoring sound coming from under here somewhere. I'll just be fast asleep, I expect. So.
Yeah, it'll be good. Looking forward to that on the 23rd, isn't it? 23rd of September. So yeah.
Brilliant.
So yeah. So good, good birding for everyone in the meantime. Look after yourselves and
have a good month. Hope you see loads of fantastic migrants and bits and pieces. Let us know. Send stuff in. You don't have to wait till next month. ebwstalks@gmail.com. Anything at all you want to tell us, and we'll bring it up either during the half-hour Big County Birdwatch shows or in October's proper show when we do it. All right.
Right, brilliant.
Right, I think it's time to go.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Yeah.
Thanks for the comments. Cheers, everyone.
Bye. Good night.
Bye.